45 6 billion won for sick childhood games, but there is no free meal in life. To achieve such a huge prize, the players have to pay with their own lives. Only one player, the only one who survives, will get the money. The red-hair man won the savage game named Squid. With such a huge amount of money, he can live a leisure life without working his ass out, with his new look and a bag full of cash. He is going abroad to live with his daughter. Before he boards a plane, he sees the recruiter playing dokji with someone. He's recruiting more players for the game that Ji-hun tried the best to keep his life. Ji-hun gets angry because those people are still manipulating the lives of innocent people who are in the dead end. Holding the card, he decides to call them back and postpone his trip abroad. While he is leaving the airport, someone calls and challenges him. Why don't you board a plane? You have nowhere else to go. Ji-hun swears to expose them to the world. He gets in a taxi and returns to Seoul. Next, he buys a paper knife at a convenience store. In the street toilet, he takes off his clothes and finds a tracking device implanted behind his ear. He quickly uses a knife and takes it out of his body. Junho wakes up after a fall from the cliff due to his brother's shot. When he gets fully recovered, he gets back to work as a patrolman, no longer a detective. He finds a couple who violates traffic. The girl is attracted by his handsome face. Regardless of her boyfriend, she asks Junho to take a photo with her. It's annoying for handsome guys. Junho continues his work without caring for her. Her boyfriend rides away, leaving her alone for what she just did. His captain gives Junho a scold when the blonde guy mocks at him. He buys Junho noodles. They chat together. The captain wants Junho to return to the team. Junho changes the topic as he doesn't care. The captain seriously asks Junho, "Don't you remember who shot you?" Junho claims that he knows nothing at all, seeing the scar on his shoulder when he gets changed. Junho remembers his brother's face when he pulled the trigger. A couple is finding for a hotel. Ji-hun sees everything through the security cameras, the bell ringing that scares him. He picks up the gun and approaches the door. As soon as looking through the peephole, a man shows him two heads of those who lost their lives during the last game. Ji-hun screams out with panic and keeps shooting at the man. Luckily, it's just a girl. The bell ringing takes him back to Earth. He pays Mr. Kim a huge amount of money to track down the game's recruiter who often appears in the subway. Kim and Ji-hun have been looking for him for 2 years, which charges lots of money. To speed it up, Ji-hun asks Mr. Kim to search for him in every groundbreaking metro lines. Hearing this, the big policeman immediately had a Mr. Kim can't get it because it'll charge more money. More money can solve this, so Ji-hun gives Kim a suitcase of cash. He urges Mr. Kim to be quick, because the recruiter appeared at this time 3 years ago. If they couldn't find him this time, they have to wait for 3 more years. Mr. Kim carries the suitcase to the car and tells his lackeys, from then on, work hard, do not drink or date. They will have to work from 6 a.m. till late at night. His lackeys are dissatisfied when they gotta find a man for the last 2 years. Mr. Kim lets them know that Ji-hun will pay them 1 billion if they can find him. The first person to find the recruiter will get 500 million. The number of money boosts their spirit up to the climax. Since Junho woke up, he has spent time sailing to the sea with a hope to find the island. Kim's second-in-command gathers his gang around and makes a plan. They split up into different teams of 2. The whole gang tries their best to find the recruiter every day. They check in at each metro line as an evidence of their work and send it to Ji-hun. Ji-hun and his life savior overcome lots of hardships. They've come to many islands, which aren't the one he's finding for. Mr. Kim and Woo-suk are having a light meal after a day working hard. Woo-suk feels discontent when he isn't sure whether the man they're looking for is real. During their talk, they hear a sound of slapping. They look at their opposite side. The recruiter is playing dokji with a guy. Immediately, they call Ji-hun. The young guy gets a card and thinks of it. After the game, the recruiter buys 100 breads and 100 lottery tickets. By a lot of bread and 100 lottery tickets, Mr. Kim and Woo-suk are closely following him. The recruiter comes to a park full of homeless people. He comes to each vagrants and offers them bread or lottery ticket. Despite their hunger, most of them choose a lottery ticket instead of breads. After letting all of them choose, the recruiter throws the breads on the ground. One of the vagrants feels so displeased at his action. The recruiter crushes the breads with his foot and says, "I gave you a chance to choose. It's you guys who dispose of those breads." Then he continues crushes the other breads. As Ji-hun drives over speed, the patrolman stops him over. He follows the rule when the patrolman asks to see his papers. Right after receiving the fine ticket, he drives away. Junho asks the coworker if he's strict with the traffic violator. He's deep in thoughts when seeing the familiar name. Mr. Kim and Woo-suk are still following the recruiter. The recruiter leads them to an alley and knocks them senseless with his suitcase. Junho searches for the traffic violator's info and realizes that is the man whom he sees 3 years ago. When Ji-hun arrives at Mr. Kim's position, his phone is out of reach. Seeing the blood trace and a knife, he's pretty sure that something bad happened to them. The recruiter takes Mr. Kim and Woo-suk somewhere. He plays a song and a game of rock paper scissors with them. The loser will be punished. To make it more thrilling, he combines it with Russian roulette. It's a 6-barreled revolver, with a 1 in 6 chance of hitting a bullet. He scared the gangsters out of their wits. They play as he wish and face the deadly punishment in turn. As it takes so long to find the loser, he adds 4 more bullets. The chance of living is only 1 out of 6. Revolving the gun, he urges them to speed it up. Woo-suk creates a chance for Mr. Kim to win. Mr. Kim gives it up to give his brother a chance to return for his family. As a result, Mr. Kim is shot. At night, Jun-ho sneaks into the office of Mr. Kim's gang. He climbs and gets through the window. As soon as he gets in, he sees the card of Squid Game. When someone comes, he hides himself in a corner. He overhears that Mr. Kim is missing and the whole gang is collecting weapons to save him. Jun-ho finds the business registration of Pink Hotel. Ji-hun realizes something wrong when he returns to the motel. Indeed, when he enters, the recruiter is waiting there. They have a talk. Ji-hun asks the recruiter about the boss. Ji-hun defends him by mocking that the recruiter is just a dog of his boss. However, the recruiter is proud when he can do the job, since when they give him a gun, he feels like there's the first time someone admits his existence. The recruiter tells Ji-hun about the day when he's going to eliminate a loser, who looks very familiar. Turns out it's his father. No matter how hard he cried in despair, the recruiter still shot him in the forehead. From then on, he gets used to such a job. Hearing his story, Ji-hun feels so bitter even when the recruiter is pointing a gun at him. The recruiter pulls the trigger but there's no bullet, so that he offers to play a game, still Russian roulette but in a special way. Instead of revolving, they will take turn to point the gun at their head and pull the trigger. That means they have 6 turns and the game ends when one of them gets shot. Ji-hun takes the first turn and then the recruiter. Nothing happens yet. In the 4th turn, the recruiter points the gun at his mouth and pulls the trigger. In the 5th turn, the chance is 50-50 and the recruiter begins to mock at Ji-hun. The recruiter challenges Ji-hun to shoot him in order to keep his life and get the answer he's finding for. But if he does it, he's no different from the scumbags he has met in life. Even though Ji-hun is panicked, he still follows the rule and pulls the trigger. As he's still alive, he gives the recruiter the gun and mocks at him back. Are you afraid? Don't care about the rule. You can shoot me. Admit that you're wearing a mask and doing everything that your boss asks. You're just their dog. The recruiter is very unyielding and shoots himself. When he's gone, Ji-hun gets what he needs. Jun-ho is coming for him. He breaks the door and unties Woo-suk. After that, he goes to Ji-hun's room. Jun-ho believes that Ji-hun shoots the recruiter. Woo-suk knocks Jun-ho senseless from behind. Ji-hun points the gun at Woo-suk. Woo-suk explains that they're on the same side. Seeing the dead body of the recruiter, Woo-suk blames him for taking Mr. Kim's life. With his deadly game, Ji-hun handcuffs Jun-ho with the bathtub. Jun-ho claims that he knows Ji-hun, because Jun-ho once disguised as a pink guard and asked Ji-hun about his brother. Jun-ho lets him know that frontman controls the game. He's the one whom Ji-hun is looking for. However, Jun-ho lies that he didn't see his face due to the black mask. Jun-ho wants to work with Ji-hun because he saw the VIPs. He wants to help Ji-hun stop the deadly game. Ji-hun doesn't agree because Jun-ho is a detective. When Jun-ho reminds him of the late players, Ji-hun feels very sorry for them and agrees to let him join. 3 of them come to a room filled with cash. He promises to give them as much as they want once they help. Jun-ho wants to help not for his money. Woo-suk is willing to revenge for Mr. Kim. Ji-hun gives them a lot of money for the hunt. More than that, he builds a place for his gang to practicing shooting. Ji-hun advises Jun-ho to quit his job if he wants to join. Next morning in the amusement park, a festival is going on. There are some animal mascots that kids favor. After work, they come to the fitting room for a rest. No-yul looks at her tired face in the mirror. When a little girl opens the door, everyone put back the mascot costume heads. The little girl draws a painting for No-yul. One of them doesn't notice the little girl, so he takes off the costume head, which scares her. Father hears her crying and takes her go. He feels sorry when he hears that she has a cancer, but at this age, her father, a painter, doesn't have enough money to pay for the treatment. No-yul feels very strange when looking at the painting. Standing in a corner, Ji-hun watches his friend's mother and Saibayok's brother. They asked him to take care of their families. He asks a detective to help him find someone. The detective has found Saibayok's mother. However, her health isn't stable after being freed from jail. Ji-hun pays for the best doctors to treat her. When she gets better, they'll leave the country. Ji-hun is willing to pay more. The detective says the money Ji-hun gave him last time is abundant. Saibayok is his savior, so he'll try his best to help. Ji-hun gives the detective the address of Saibayok's brother and asks the detective to call this phone number if he can't contact Ji-hun. After Ji-hun leaves, No-yul also comes to see the detective. She has come many times asking him to help find her 1-year-old daughter. Also, she gives a thick wad of money. The detective wonders why they want to give him money. What a lucky day. He's helpless after so many times trying to help, even if he gets her money. He isn't sure that he can find her daughter. She lost her child in North Korea. No-Yul shot her boss and she's living in South Korea. He gives her his last advice: give up on your child. That's very cruel, and he knows. After that, No-Yul sits in her car admiring her family photo. She drowns her sorrow in drink. When someone lights on her, she thinks the security wants her to leave. A stranger who knows her name and gives her the card of Squid Game. The next morning, Junho brings a bouquet to the grave of his brother's late wife. When he gets home for a dinner with his mother, she keeps complaining about his brother. She believes that Junho's brother hates her. That's why he didn't come to his wife's funeral. It's also because she had partiality for Junho, who is her biological son, and that's what scares her. Junho comforts her mother. Yet, she still laments that Junho's brother gives him a kidney. However, they were too poor to save Junho's sister-in-law. She should have sold her organs to save her daughter-in-law. Junho blames himself for that. If his brother didn't donate his kidney to Junho, he could have saved his wife. Junho hopes his mother to stop thinking this way. He doesn't think that they caused her death. His brother received a punishment for taking bribes. Next day at the amusement park, the pink bunny doesn't give the little girl a lollipop as usual. It's someone else wearing the costume. As No-Yul is off today, No-Yul feels so hopeless when she can't find her child, so she decides to join the game. The ambulance arrives at the amusement park for the little girl who faints away. No-Yul's eyes follow the ambulance. Her feelings are hard to describe. She picks up the little girl's hat. A dentist is pulling Ji-hun's tooth, and implants another one for him, which is actually a tracking device. Woo-suk pays the dentist to shut his mouth up. Kyung-suk is begging the doctor for more time to earn money for her daughter's surgery. No-Yul visits and holds the hand of the little girl. When Kyung-suk comes back, he sees the hat on her daughter's stomach. After implanting the tracking device on his teeth, Ji-hun practices shooting. Although he prepares it very carefully, he still feels insecure. Ji-hun calls his daughter. Hearing her voice, he can't control his emotion. He sheds tears, unable to speak. Sitting next to the fire, No-Yul makes a call and decides to join the game. She also burns the painting that Kyung-suk's daughter gave her on October 31st. People are partying at a nightclub, where the players are gathered. Ji-hun gets inside with Woo-suk. With his junior, the music was blaring. He sees a suspicious man. However, it's just a normal man. The pink guards also get there. Junho see them. With a gun, Junho can order the guard to let him in. He finds Woo-suk lying senseless. He informs the gang to start action. The pink guards lead Ji-hun to a white limousine. Ji-hun's gang follows the limousine. Ji-hun talks to the front man, who considers the players scumbags. There are more and more scumbags like them. The game won't end when the world doesn't change. Ji-hun doesn't think so. In his eyes, they're treating people like racing horses to entertain themselves. Ji-hun's gang is still closely following. However, the snipers on top of the buildings shoot their car tires. Ji-hun tries to shoot the driver, yet, it's a bulletproof glass. Ji-hun wants to get back to the game. Immediately, a smoke is released and he blacks out. Welcome back to the game, player 456. No-Yul arrives at a parking lot. She gets in a truck and put on the pink uniform. Junho and Woo-suk set sail for the position of Ji-hun. Ji-hun wakes up in the familiar uniform and his number is 456. Everything there is the same. He walks down and sees a psychic. She knows he can't give up on too many things. There are many souls around him. They don't want to leave. Those bring him here. He doesn't volunteer to go. She promises to help him get away from them after they're out of there. The pink guards appear and tell them about the regulations of this game. The players complain. Thanos doesn't agree to let them keep his phone. He asks them to pay if his cyber cash gets underpricing. All of his personal information is on the screen. Player 333, Lee Myung-ji, a YouTuber who lures people to invest in cyber cash, causing a loss of 75.2 billion won. Currently, he's wanted for violating the rules of telecom and financial investment. He ran into a debt of 1.8 billion. After that, more players' personal info and number of debts are on the screen. They're at the bottom of the pile. One of them owes 10 billion won, which dumbfounds the others. He says he owed money to do a great business. Everyone admires him. A huge piggy bank is dropping from the ceiling. After 6 games, it'll be filled with 45.6 billion won. A manager announces a new clause. After each game, the players will vote, and if the majority agrees to leave the game, the accumulated prize money will be divided among them. Everyone line up to sign the agreement. Those who doesn't want to play the game don't need to sign. Ji-hun still decides to sign. Every gathers around for the first game. Thanos is a famous rapper, so many of the players know him. The players take turn to take a photo before the game. The mother asks her son why there's a man but look like a woman. Her son asks her to be lower in voice, not to let them hear it. When Ji-hun is going upstairs, he encounters his best friend. Yoongbei had a divorce and his daughter followed her mother. Don't know why Yoongbei is there. Ji-hun demands his friend to stay behind him all the time. All the players come to a big ground. Thanos gives a rap flow flirting with a beautiful girl. The door closes. Everyone is amazed at the huge doll. Jae-hun realizes that the tracking device is gone. Out there, Junho and his team realizes that they're fooled. Jae-hun steps out and warns them about the deadly game. All of them consider him a crazy man. They believe that he's trying to get the reward alone. When the game starts, everyone moves along to the music and stops when it's time. Jae-hun asks them not to move when the music stops. The beautiful girl wonders if Jae-hun gets high. Thanos is so sure that Gig-hun comes with no sign of an addict. Seeing a bee perching on her neck, he says the bee knows you're a flower. The beautiful girl screams out. In just a moment, she is shot. Many of them freaks out and get shot. Even though Jae-hun asks them not to move, it's No-Yul who is aiming at the players. Based on his experiences, Jae-hun tells everyone to line up. Among the players, No-Yul notices the painter who is father of the little girl. That's why she doesn't shoot him, though he's a little bit shaking. Thanks to Jae-hun's plan, less people get shot. Thanos pushes some people on the ground. He gets excited when they're shot. Everyone moves forward as fast as possible. The players get shot because they fail to keep calm. Player 444 is shot in his leg. Thanks to this, he stays alive. Jae-hun can't ignore someone who is alive. He and another player carry the injured person to the destination. Floating on the sea, Junho and his teams can't get why their plan oozed out. He's certain that someone leaks it out. Back to the dormitory, after the scary game, the mother and her son beg the pink guards on their knees. The others do the same. Jae-hun asks the guards about the condition to stop the game. Before voting, the guards show them the cash filling the piggy bank. The cash is dropped into the piggy bank. 91 players are out, which means they'll get 1 billion in total. If most of them agree to leave the game, they each will receive 24 million and leave without any problem. They all owe much more than such an amount, so that most of them risk their life to keep playing the game. Jae-hun is the first one to choose to stop. Each player takes turn and makes their own choices, as more of them vote for going on. Jae-hun persuades the rest. He hopes they'll stop and leave. However, the old man gives him a scold. Those who want to go on also scold Jae-hun. The mother implores everyone for treasuring their lives. When two sides exchange words with each other, Jae-hun admits that he's survivor of the game 3 years ago. He saw all of them died. However, it doesn't work. The players there are in the dead end and they only cares about money. As the only survivor is there, they have a reason to go on. They ask him to tell them how to pass the game. Jae-hun tries to persuade them, yet, the guard points a gun at him, asking him not to mess with the voting. The number of votes is equal. The last one, player 001, chooses to continue. He's Junho's brother, and also the front man, but Jae-hun doesn't know. After voting, all players can rest and enjoy dinner for the next game. Player 001 approaches Jae-hun, and he chose to continue due to Jae-hun. Jae-hun is the only hope that helps them win the next game. He tells them about the Dalgona challenging. There are 4 shapes and they can choose one, and the triangle is the easiest, and the most difficult shape is the umbrella. Player 001 wonders if there was anyone choosing the shape of umbrella. Those who chose it might have been gone. Jae-hun recalls his stupid choice that annoys him. The old man asks them not to tell anyone else. If the number of alive people remain, the reward won't raise. Jae-hun refuses because he returns to save all the players. Jeomja asks after player 222, because she knows player 222 is pregnant. She really cares about the young girl. Thanos and Namgyu bully Myung-ji, who lured them to invest in cybercash. 3 of them fight. He can't fight back. The duo, Yoongbei and Daeho, are going to stop them. Player 001 interferes to stop their fight. He persuades them at first, yet, Thanos asks him to return and lecture his wife. 001 gets mad when Thanos mentions his wife. He then gives Thanos a lesson. Seeing how good 001 is at fighting, Yoongbei and Daeho cover their tattoos. When everyone is sleeping, 001 strikes a conversation with Jae-hun. He tells Jae-hun about his wife who had cirrhosis. At that time, she was pregnant. His wife wants to give birth to their child. He can't find a liver donor, neither have enough money to pay for the transplant. A supplier lent him money. However, he was accused of taking bribes. He was fired despite how much he contributed to the company for this whole youth. He sheds tears telling his story. 001 needs money to save his wife and baby. In the basement, 2 pink guards are taking organs of the players. However, those are dead despite they missed their shot on purpose to take their organs. A soldier reports it to the officer. He believes that soldier 011 is messing with them. The officer summons 011. He mentions their 7-year friendship. He asks her not to mess with them if she wants their help finding her daughter. No-Yul has her own reason. She just wants to help those hopeless people leave this painful world. The officer tells her that they'll die though, so he and his team are giving their organs to those who need an organ transplant. No-Yul doesn't really care. She excuses herself to get back to her place. He angrily dips his cigarette into a glass of wine. Junho reports it to his boss, asking him to search for the island. Junho's boss believes that he lost his mind after the accident. By this chance, the boss kicks Jun out of the unit. Junho asks Woo-suk to gather a team because the police won't help them. The Dalgona challenges begins. Ji-hun chooses triangle shape, but it's really tough. The others blame him for this. He doesn't know how to explain it to them. The sound of music wakes him up. Luckily, it's just a nightmare. Player 222 comes for a talk with player 333. Myung-ji asked her to abort it and invest all her money in cyber cash. She chose not to abort it though her boyfriend is such a jerk. Was terrible, but she still decided not to leave her children and came here to she just comes to see how he is living, and she doesn't want to see him when they can get out of there. When the next game begins, Ji-hun feels so strange in this place. This a totally new game, not the Dalgona challenges. The second game requires players to form teams of 5. The old man and his team player 001 defends him. Player 222 is afraid that no one lets her in because she's pregnant. Myung-ji asks her to join. Even though she knows no one wants to add her in, she loses her belief in him. It isn't easy for Yong-shik to team up because no one wants an old member like his mom. He still stays by his mom regardless of no one chooses her. Thanos wants to team up with another pretty girl. Junhee walks around and wants to be in Ji-hun's team. Those who are left behind group up. The rule of this round is very simple. Each team member will play a children's game at each stop. The team can move on when the member passed the games, Dokji, Baisiakajai, Gongji, Jejai, and spinning top. Ji-hun's team allocates duties to each team member. 001 calls Ji-hun by his name which makes him suspicious. 001 makes a good excuse so Ji-hun no longer doubts. The first two teams play are very confident on the beginning. When they start the game, they realize how tough it is. As a result, both teams are peppered with bullets when they can't reach the goal in time. Thanos is still chilling regardless of the fatal game. Namgyu asks Thanos for a pill of drug which helps him feel less stressful. He's used to all the types of drugs. The pink guards put the bodies in the coffins. Seeing an alive player, No-yul gives him one last shot. The officer and his teammates feel dissatisfied. Hyunju's team begins to play the game. Youngmi easily passes the first game. The whole team encourages Yongshik and he also successfully passes it. Jeomja is too worried to make it. Hyunju covers Seon-nayo's mouth to stop her from lashing out at Jeomja. Yongshik encourages his mother and thanks to this, she can pass it easily. Other players encourage her team when she passes. Seon-nayo loses her mind when she keeps failing. Hyunju gives her slap, asking her to pull herself together. I'll end your life if you take more time. Thanks to Hyunju, Seon-nayo regains her composure and makes it. Hyunju kicks the shuttlecock. Everyone nervously counts and she accomplishes her mission. Everyone encourages them in the last seconds. Most of the other teams can reach the goal. There's some people who can't make it. Those who lose the games lose their lives. Ji-hun's team is one of the last teams. They cheer each other up. Ji-hun's team easily passes the first 3 mini-games. Daeho is so good at Korean jacks. The whole team puts their hope on player 001. However, he fails 3 times. He slaps himself to buck it up and he can make the humming top spinning in the end. Ji-hun kicks 4 times. Player 001 raises his leg and luckily the shuttlecock touches Ji-hun's foot. As a result, they pass all the mini-games. However, they can't be happy when the other team is shot. This round is easy so many of them feel bored when just a few people lost their lives. No-yul is ambushed by the 2 soldiers who are working with the officer. Their co-worker covers it for them from the surveillance room. No-yul can't fight back these 2 strong men. A soldier scratches her face with his knife. He warns No-yul not to mess up their business. When Ji-hun's team gathers around, they introduce themselves to each other. Player 38 says his name is Daeho. Player 222 is Junhee and 001 introduces himself as Oh Young-ail. After the second game ends, the reward raises up to 21 billion won. The players complain about the small amount of reward. The voting begins right after that. Most of the players are greedier when they can get more money. 001 is the first one to choose to stop. Yongshik chooses to go on with the game. Despite that his mom asks him to choose an X, the situation isn't good. Player 001 convinces them to stop, however. Those are likes borrowing dislikes paying. They are owing lots of money. The reward isn't enough to pay half of their debts. Even Yoongbei also chooses an O. Once again, the game continues, same as last time but the number of people who wanted to continue was overwhelming. They get their dinner and take a rest. Jeomja is really mad at her son. She hopes he can live even if she loses her life next round. But if he dies, she can't continue her life. What a great mother. She talks to Hyunju. She wants to earn money for a male-to-female surgery, which helps her escape from people's glance of disdain. Her mother cried a lot and her father broke off a connection with her. It was a surprise that she was an army soldier before the SRS. Hyunju wants to have money for an SRS in a small house in Thailand. According to his experience, he asks his team to sleep under the bunk bed and take turn to keep watch, in order to keep the same massacre from happening. At night, Jeomja wants to go to the toilet. Before leaving, she gives her son a sharp hairpin to defend himself. After insisting on the guard with sincerity, he lets Jeomja, Junhee, and Hyunju go to the toilet. Jeomja lets Hyunju know that Junhee is pregnant. She'll be in labor soon. In the toilet, Junhee cries in despair, because she's going to give birth soon. Jeomja comforts her. Junho and his team gear up and sail to the sea finding for Ji-hun. In the morning, the next round starts. Hyunju says sorry to Youngmi. She hopes everyone will be safe and get out of here together. During the third game, all the players stand on the spinning circle. They'll be given an announced number. Within 30 years, they have to form groups on announced number, then enter designated rooms. Once the number is announced, the players form groups on it and rush to the room. Those who are left out there lose their lives. Seon-nyo is in the same room with Ji-hun. When she's safe, she stares at Junhee and tells Ji-hun a few things. There's a reason why he survived once and turned back there. After the purge, the staff also collect the bodies. Everyone is won the spinning circle and number is 4. Thanos kicks one of his team and runs away with the other 3. Seon-nyo is left by her previous team. 001 leaves the team to give Ji-hun and the other a chance. A group of 3 is taken down when they're hiding in the room. When the game starts again, music is on and the number is 3. Thanos' team plays rock, paper, scissor to get rid of one. Semi wants to make another group but Min-soo eliminates her. Yong-shik is dragged away by 2 men, leaving Jeomja alone. In the last moment, Ji-hun and 001 take her into a room. 001 asks about her son. Jeomja is so sure that her son is lost. He's a good guy. The next number is 5. On the way, Youngmi is shoved to the ground. In the last moment, Myung-ji kicks her out and takes her place. Hyunju witnesses Youngmi's death. She grabs Myung-ji by collar. Myung-ji excuses that it's running of time and she can't make it. Junhee and the others think the same. Hyunju feels so sorry for Youngmi. The last spinning begins. The number of players left is 126. 001 believes it will be 2 because there are only 50 rooms. Indeed, when the number is announced, all the players have to run for their lives. Evil players fight for their lives to stay in the room, in order to keep Ji-hun's friend alive. 001 kicks another player out of the room. As the third man in the room refuses to leave, Ji-hun strangles him to death. End of the game. The alive players get back to the dorm with heavy hearts. Ji-hun counts the number of people who chose an X, hoping there'll be more of them. Junho and the team are drifting on the sea to find the island. Back to the dorm, Myung-ji wants Junhee to come back to him. He hopes they can start it over when they get out of there. First, he'll clear his debt with her reward and invest his won in a business for a better life. Junhee knows him so well after hearing his plan. He needs her reward, not her and their baby being abandoned. Seon-nyo comes to see Jeomja and her team. She rants and raves at them. The voting time arrives. Each player can get 356 million won. Many change their mind and opt for an X. On the other hand, the others want to go on. Yong-shik listens to his mother and choose an X. After what has happened, Hyunju also chooses an X. So did Semi. Thanks to Semi's support, Min-soo also opts for an X. When there is one more person wants to go on, 001 is the last one to vote. Yoongbei's going to tell his team about what 001 did earlier. He is interrupted when 001 presses the X button. Ji-hun is surprised. As it's a draw, they can vote again tomorrow. When Ji-hun tells Yoongbei to finish his story, Yoongbei changes the topic. Junho and his team finds a suspicious place on top of an island. As soon as opening the door, an explosion takes life of a man and hurts another. The whole team doesn't want to give up. They gotta find the island and the front man. The X team is exchange words with the O team. Ji-hun stares at the fork going with the kimbap. It makes him feel insecure. In the toilet, Thanos and Namgyu forces Min-soo to choose an O tomorrow. Myung-ji helps him out. Thanos makes fun of him and speaks of his girlfriend with harsh words. Myung-ji loses his temper and punches Thanos. Two sides are involved in a fight. Thanos grabs Myung-ji by the collar. To save his own life, Myung-ji stabs Thanos' chin. They keep fighting in the toilet. The pink guards don't stop them. The X side loses 2 people, and the O team loses 3. One of the mercenaries sees Captain Park messing up with his drone. When he asks, Captain Park stabs him and throws him into the sea. When Woo-suk comes for a check, Captain Park blames the strong waves. Woo-suk's doubt is satisfied, so he gets back inside. The office receives a report from the soldiers that the delivery team had departed in the best condition. 011 soldier listens to them. After that, the officer activates the special game. The soldiers gear up and move to the destination. The light will be off within 20 minutes. Ji-hun believes that the O team will attack when the light is off, which help they get more money and win the voting. 001 suggests to attack them first. Ji-hun doesn't agree. If they do it, they're no different from those who are controlling the game. They can't follow the manipulator's intention. Ji-hun advises them to rise up, steal the guns and attack the pink guards. They'll take advantage of the rebellion to carry out their plan. Namgyu takes Thanos' drug. He swallows 2 pills to calm himself down and then stares at the fork. Junhee still cares about Myungji. She asks him to hide when the light is off. Don't show up no matter what happens. Clean your face. When it's counting down, everyone gets ready. In the dark, the O team attacks the X team. Ji-hun and his team won't meet and fight. If any of them is gone, their plan will be broken. 001 knows Ji-hun is throwing a separate to catch a herring. Ji-hun doesn't deny. If they miss this chance, they'll lose more than that. What they have to do is to end this game for good. 001 agrees with Ji-hun. The scream fills the dorm. Minsu can't do anything but to witness Namgyu take Semi's life. After the massacre ends, the pink guards come to collect the bodies. It's time to rebel. Ji-hun's team steals the guns and takes the guards down. A gunfight occurs. The rest guards withdraw. One of the soldiers is locked in the dorm. The rebels keep him a hostage. Someone wants to shoot the guard as a revenge for his friend. Ji-hun calm him down. Do not act the same as those guards. Hyunju shoots all the cameras in the room. All the soldiers are gathered for the last fight. Ji-hun's team collects bullets from the dead soldiers. Then he recruits more people into his team. Junhee gives a sign to Myungji. She doesn't want him to join them. Yoongbei volunteers because it's the time. Some people also join as they want to help the others get out of there. Jeomja doesn't let her son join the rebellion because she needs him to stay by her side. Hyunju teaches them how to use MP-35. The painter wonders why Hyunju's knowledgeable of guns. Hyunju admits herself as a sergeant in the Korean Special Forces. Ji-hun makes the pink guard lead them to see the front man. Mingu cries when he sees Semi's body. The rebels are ambushed. Thanks to her combat experience, Hyunju easily takes down many pink guards. They keep moving to the control room. On the way, the pink guard is shot by his co-workers. Daeho gets scared by the shooting sound. To stop them, Ji-hun and Yoongbei go find the control room first. With the mask, Jae-hun can get through the door. They work well as a team and take the guards down. The officer sends more men to stop them. Ji-hun asks the others in the team give him more bullets to break through a siege. 001 takes 2 more men to help Ji-hun out. Daeho comes back to the dorm for more bullets. Hyunju and the others stay to wait for Daeho to bring bullets back. 001 wants to take a new round to surround the soldiers. Ji-hun completely believes 001 and gives him a loading of bullets that he just stole. Daeho loses his mind, getting too scared of the shooting sound. Daeho can't move to the other rebels. Feeling something wrong, Hyunja decides to return to the dorm to check it out. 001 does a trick with 2 men going with him. He shoots them from behind. Talking to Ji-hun through the walkie-talkie, 001 says his team is taken down, and lets Ji-hun hear the dying sound. After that, he shoots the dying man. Hyunju finds Daeho hiding himself in a corner with fear. When she's bringing the bullets to the other rebels, the pink guards storm into the dorm. Hyunju is about to shoot them, yet, Jeomja convinces her not to give up on her own life. The last remaining people run out of bullets. One of them takes his own life. The other 2 surrender to keep their lives, yet, they're still shot. The painter also gets shot. Ji-hun and Yoongbei surrender and drop the guns. The front man shows up and asks how Ji-hun feels acting as a hero. He then gives Yoongbei a shot. Ji-hun cries helplessly when his friend loses his life. End of Season 2. Stay tuned for Season 3 launched in 2025. Let's see what is the surprise. Please like and leave a comment below. See you next time.